Last planner in construction, move the daily huddle to the afternoon before. Best practice. And this will be a part of the 20 video series talking about the last planner system. When I talk about how to elevate and enable the last planner system, this is one of the most crucial improvements. Moving the foreman huddle to the afternoon before instead of the day of. Now let me talk about this. Let's just say here's a day, and this is tomorrow, and you are implementing a system. We know from the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie, that we need to work in day-tight compartments. Now, if you're gonna go do work throughout the day with the crews, and you put your daily huddle with the foreman either before the work starts or after the workers have started, two very bad things will happen. And I'll just go ahead and mark these. Number one, you will either come out of that meeting and change the direction of the crew, which will slow down productivity and disrespect people. So this is going to cause variation. Or because you know that that's not a good idea, in that morning huddle, you won't change much. You'll literally, and I'm not making fun, I'm just saying, I'm not being disparaging, I don't know if that's the way to say it, I'm being very real. If you know that's not a good idea and you're in that morning foreman huddle, you'll literally be like, I'm on level 4, area 3, and I've got 5 guys. Well, I'm good. And then you go to the next and the next. While everybody should know where somebody is and how much labor they have, or at least the person and the supervisor should know, that's actually not relevant to anybody else. What's relevant is handoffs, interfaces, change points, and identifying, discussing, and removing roadblocks. You will have ineffectiveness. I hope I'm spelling this right. And that's what happens. Actually, I had the realization the other day that in the last planner system, if you huddle your foreman the morning of, it's not a foreman huddle, it's not a planning huddle, it's an information sharing huddle. Now, how do you fix this? What we do is we say, let's move the foreman huddle to the day before. So instead of a pod meeting, plan of the day, it's a pond meeting, plan of the next day. And what we do is between 10 a.m. and I would say 3 p.m., I'll address the objections here in a minute. You do this foreman huddle, here's what happens. You turn in daily reports and you have fresh on your mind what happened that day. And you're able to identify, discuss, and solve problems. And you're able to go through the plan for the next day. And you're actually able, at the end of this, to go ahead and grab permits like dig permits or confined space permits or whatever it is you need, confirm you have the information, work with the project delivery team, and you have time to still go get that generator, that cord, that ladder, or do something that changes your day-tight compartment plan the next day. And guess what? The workers are the most productive from the time they start in the morning to about 11 a.m. Most accidents happen from 11 a.m. onward. And so I don't want variation in our workers losing production time. I want them cared for first and producing at their best time of the day, which is most respectful to them. This is not about money or production. This is about people. I want them to be able to do things that are standard, simpler, cleanup, staging, in the afternoon, because mental discipline and energy is an exhaustible resource, especially for people who are using their body. And so I want the foreman to be with them, and then in the afternoon when we're cleaning, when we're staging, now's the time for the foreman to be in the office away from the crew where they're doing things like cleanup that's less dangerous, less opportunity for accidents. That's what I want. The key here is we've got to move this to the day before, because now you actually have a planning meeting where you can make substantial changes, and then what you're able to do now is insert in the morning worker huddle and communicate the plan and have it ready so that we can hit the ground prepared and running. That is the genius of the system. And so this is crucial. Now let me talk about the objections. Somebody might say, well, my foreman may just show up the day of. Well, you might have to make a phone call. Well, my foremen are tired. Well, so are your workers. And so your workers will be better cared for and less tired if the foreman is helping them and we've chunked it properly the next day. And the other thing is, for the foreman, I do understand that you're a little bit more tired, but it is our job in leadership to support the workers. I did a graduation speech for an awesome company. Actually, I'll just shout them out. Robbins and Morton, they have a craft development program where they train the craft to go into project delivery positions. And in that graduation speech, I said this: you have elevated yourself in your advancement in your career and hierarchically, but you've actually taken a step down when you look at the value stream. We are not a pyramid top down. we are inverted, where you have now taken a step down to support the kings and queens on the job site, the most value-added entities, the foreman and the workers in the field. We have to understand that even if we are a skinchy bit tired, we discomfort ourselves so we can comfort the workers. We have to get the foreman planning meeting the day before. It does not work the day of, and you will see the validity of this, and I'll prove it to you. If you keep it in the morning, you're like, I don't want to do what Jason says. He's not as good looking as he thinks. Fine, but you will notice that the people will only talk about, I'm here and this is how much labor I have. Or they will change the plan and it will affect the crews. And if you do what I'm saying, you can talk about roadblocks, you can adjust constraints, you can get materials ready, you can change things to make it better for the group, you can coordinate handoffs, you can have real discussions, and you're not in a rush. So this is what I'm talking about. If you want to understand more about this, there's 2 books. Actually, Task Steering and Control shows you how to do this, and then the book, The 10 Improvements to the Last Planner System, will tell you why it's needed. We'll also turn this into a blog post. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.